JNTV.
Media, not political enemy of SG, says guide of editors. Plus, Buhari raises committee on poverty reduction as court orders FG to pay Rivers Akwa Ibom State $3.3 billion oil revenue. Hi guys, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you, depending on the location you are watching us from. A very big welcome to you. This is DJ MTV Daily News Update, the WhatsApp channel for everything news happening around the world. Just in case this is your first time of seeing any of our video, please do subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you could be the first to get notified each time we post a new video. Let's get to the main news. The Nigerian Guild of Editor (NGE) has said that the media industry is not a political enemy or opponent of the federal government, saying many of the political allies' attacks on the media are habitually not vision to win an argument on the values, journalistic or legal, but designed to bully media organizations in the country. Reacting to what it described as draconian provision in the two bills to amend the Nigerian Press Council (NPC) Act and the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) Act that are currently before the National Assembly, which the sponsors said were aimed at moderating the recklessness of the media. The guide said that the bills are actually meant to criminalize journalism practice in the country. In a statement issued by the Guide of all Editors in Nigeria and signed by the President Mustafa Issa and the General Secretary Iyobosa on Tuesday, the guide said that the oxygen of democracy, which is the media, will be strangulated if the bills are passed into law. At the time, there is a popular ongoing global conversation about the need for a #New Deal for journalism, for immediate and sustained action from and collaboration between governments and other influential actors to improve the policy, funding and enabling environment for independent professional journalism. We see the proposed legislation as unhelpful. While we are not an obstruction to an act that will promote media stakeholders driven regulatory council, the many draconian provisions in the Honorable Odegbami Olusegun sponsored bill are actually aimed at criminalizing media practice in Nigeria. While the intention of the sponsors of the bill is suspicious, the bill neglects all known features of media regulatory body in the world, the guide said. For example, the guide said that while the NPC Act Cap 128, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 1992, created by the military dictatorship, gives the council board full responsibility to administer the council, the proposed act restricts the council board to advisory capacity on a part-time basis without direct interference in the day-to-day administration of the council, and give executive secretary all the powers. While the proposed NPC Act says the board shall consist of one representative each from the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ), Nigeria Guild of Editor (NGE), Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria (NPAN), Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria (BON), Ministry of Information, two representatives of the general public, one of whom shall be a legal practitioner, and a woman, and executive secretary of the council, who shall serve as the secretary to the board. The board is a mere advisory body. The bill also says that the chairman of the board shall be appointed by the president on the recommendation of the minister in charge of information, and that all other members of the shall be appointed by the president on the recommendation by the minister of information. The intention of this kind of council is suspicious, the guide said. The body of editor is of the view that the professional body doesn't need the approval of the Minister of Information to establish and disseminate a national press code and standard to guide the conduct of print medias, related media houses, and media practitioners, approve penalties and fine against violation of the press code as provided for in the bill. The NGE noted that in the proposed MPC legislation, the sponsor mischievously smuggled in the fake controversy news provision by stating that any person who carries news established to be fake thereafter commits an offence and is liable on conviction to a fine of 5 million naira or a term of 2 years imprisonment or both, and a compensation of 2 million naira payable to the persons, group, corporate bodies, government, or any of its agency whom the news was carried against. The bill also stated that any print media house whose medium was used to carry such news is liable on conviction to the fine of 10 million naira or closure of such media house for a period of 1 year or both, and compensation of 20 million naira to the persons, group, corporate body, government, or any of its agency whom the news was carried against. On the proposed NBC amendment legislation, the guide said that the Section 23 of the bill, which gives the Minister of Information powers to participate in the making of regulation, is unhelpful, saying that the participation of the minister will turn NBC into a tool for political interference. The guide also noted that the provision of the two bills gives the impression that the federal government is out to crush its enemy, noting that the media is not an enemy of the state. The NGE added that the two bills, if passed, would compound the nation's negative image in the global community. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has inaugurated the National Steering Committee (NSC) of the National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy (NPRGS) to invent new ways to reduce poverty in Nigeria. And to chair this committee is the Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo. Members of the committee include Secretary to the Government of the Federation (SGF), Chief of Staff to Mr. President, and Governors of Ekiti, Delta, Sokoto, Borno, Nasarawa, and Ebonyi State, covering the 6 geopolitical zones, among other members. In a statement issued by its spokesman Femi Adesina, President Muhammadu Buhari has restated that his commitment is to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years with a well-researched framework for implementation and funding at the ceremony. Muhammadu Buhari also said that the NPRGS has already proposed the establishment of a private equity fund, the Nigeria Investment and Growth Fund (NIG) fund, to lead resource mobilization drive and also manage the resources in a sustainable manner. If India can lift 271 million people out of poverty between 2006 and 2016, Nigeria can surely lift 100 million out of poverty in 10 years. Fortunately, we have already started, but we need to unlock the challenges of slow implementation, inappropriate targeting, and absence of adequate resources, he noted. Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo, who happens to be the chairman of the committee, said that the president's position that local government, state, and federal government shall work jointly to alleviate poverty in the country will be properly reflected in the program. Meanwhile, a federal high court in Abuja has ordered the federal government to pay over $3 billion to Rivers and Akwa Ibom State respectively as part of their revenue share from crude oil sales. The amount forms part of the $62 billion said to have been recovered from some oil company by the federal government. Justice Taiwo, who delivered the judgment on Tuesday, held that the notice of intention to defend the case without joining issue with the plaintiff was an error on the part of the government. The court also rejected the claim of the federal government that it cannot pay the money it received from crude oil sales, adding that the defendant ought to have filed a defense to explain its position in the $62 billion oil earning as required by law. This is coming days after the Federal High Court awarded the sum of 82 billion naira in favor of Ibeno community in Akwa Ibom State against the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and Mobil Producing Nigeria over oil spillage. Delivering judgment, Justice Taiwo ordered that the sum must be paid within 14 days, after which 8% interest will be incurable on the principal sum annually. The judge held that the American company and NNPC were negligent in the way they handled oil spillage, caused environmental degradation in the various community. So guys, this is where we draw the curtain for this edition of TJMTV Daily News Update. But before we go, a recap on the headlines. Media not political enemy of FG, says guide of editor, as Buhari raises committee on poverty reduction in the country, plus court order FG to pay Rivers Akwa Ibom State $3.3 billion oil revenue. So guys, you've seen our story for this edition. One of the honorable in the National Assembly has brought up a bill where the Minister of Information becomes in charge of regulating media in the country. And the guides of media have said that if this bill is being passed into law, it means that the oxygen of democracy, according to the guide, is being trampled upon. And the media have come out to say that Honorable Odegbami Olusegun, who sponsored this bill, actually aimed at criminalizing media in Nigeria. Thereby, the bill is giving full power to the Minister of Information to control the media in Nigeria. And the guides have said that this is a suspicious one. Also, we saw that Buhari has raised up committee with Yemi Osibanjo as a chairman of that committee to reduce poverty in Nigeria. And he gave instance of India being able to raise 271 million people in India out of poverty in 10 years. And he said that if India could do it, then Nigeria can raise 100 million persons out of poverty in the next 10 years. So guys, we also saw that the Federal High Court in Abuja has told the government to pay the sum of $3.3 billion to Rivers State and Akwa Ibom State respectively, money which came out from the sales of crude oil proceeds. Although the federal government are saying that they won't pay that sum, but the Federal High Court has given them 14 days to do that, after which 8% will be added annually to the capital. So guys, in all this, what are your thoughts? Please drop your comments in the comment section below, and please do not forget to like, share and comment on all our videos. Please follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube and on Instagram, and don't forget to check up on our website www.tjmtv.news. I am Victor Obruchi for TJMTV News. Yeah.
TJMTV.